you have the Varus, right? You have ranges are quite hard. The Azir can be pretty problematic to deal with. Bro really need to close the distance with that composition, and they definitely have tools to do so, but I think both compositions interact in different ways, and it really comes down to the execution.
Is getting so much value out of this Ignite, keeping it on cooldown. You love to see it. Sklows are not going to be worried about being put in the kennel.
And it just feels like constantly Bro had the pressure in this matchup.
Well, the flash forward from Quantum, the cleanse flash to get Hype out of there, and Polo is just chasing Berserker down. First blood, and Polo is taking matters into his own hands, picks up a double on the Nautilus. Oh man, and we have been critical of Polo. Not today.
Gold isn't useless, but it's on the support.
You can also transfer that gold better in the early game, like you're saying, but it will take Polo having to get out there, make stuff happen. Great interrupt there from Morgan onto Dudu, but Dudu not really too worried about it. He's so not going to be diving on in with any blast cones or anything like that. Croco just going to let this dragon go. Not too worried about a singular ocean this time around, as nice stun out from Morgan. Does get knocked up by the Q. There is the Soul Furnace as well, doing a lot of work, as Morgan gets hit by another Q there as well. So the Scion doing a pretty good job here in this top lane. And now let's see what Hype can do. Quantum with the Magnet Storms, pretty good, but another cleanse does come out. There's the double knockup, but Pyosik is going to come in, and Polo, I don't think he's going to make anything happen here. He is just going to be taken down. There's a kill on the board for DNF.
He will shred basically anyone.
Well, you've got Pyosik and Bulldog just beating down this turret. That is just gone. Really nicely played. The Nature's Grasp is going to come through for the attempted punish. There's the Sun Disc going to be put up as Emperor's Divide comes down. Bulldog still not out of the woods just yet, as the depth charge is going to lock him up. And they've taken one kill. Croco looking a bit worse for wear though, as Morgan sidesteps the Q. And there's a nice double knock off. The ulti to follow there from Closer. Looking fantastic on the Yone this time as he flashes towards Dudu. He does get knocked up, but he's still pretty tanky on this Scion. Another Q going to connect, but the Soul Furnace is going to be back as Pyosik going to be flashing away. Hype flashes forward to get the kill on to the Trundle. The Arc of Ruin there does a fair bit of work towards Berserker, but he is safe under the turret. A big win for the Bros as they lock down the feats of warfare and grab so many extra kills.
Huge overcommit there from DNF onto the tower.
Has to really deal with a Slurkle as a result. And now Dudu making his way in. DNF committing to this fight, but Dudu off to the side, does charge the Q, but doesn't get the knock-up onto Closer. Is now Hype doing so much work as Quantum down to 50%. Morgan dives in and will be able to stun up the Rel. Hook connects onto Pyosik. Emperor's Divide is decent as Morgan will be going down, but it's a double for Closer on the back end of the fight, and Hype is still there, laying down the damage. Closer looking for even more, but I think he'll have to go back to that soul pretty soon. And Dudu will survive, but still a massive win for the Bros once again.
Such good team fighting there from the Bros. They split off DNF. They did just great execution, and Closer finding a fantastic angle. This is definitely the redemption he needed for that on that Yone.
Exactly right. That three-man ulti just magnificent out of this guy, and I think it's a really good day. This one isn't, you know, worth losing the game over. So
there'll be other dragons to lose the game over. Don't you worry.
Exactly. As Berserker going to get slurkled, but otherwise not too worried. And that is just the Drake going down.
And Lamb poke. But I feel like with Bro having control, DNF are going to have to push in constantly, and it exposes you to flanks, it exposes you to walking into saplings, things like that. And it's just not a really comfortable position to be in. You can see Bro already setting up on this top side of the map.
And that's 2 items on Croco as well, and he did not stop building damage.
Yeah.
As Morgan also, he's hit too, as the Spirit Surgeon does come in. Hook going to go wide here from Polo. Kind of crazy that the hitbox didn't quite work out there, as somehow it's a double snare from the Nature's Grasp. Polo going to have to flash away because that one is not really what he wanted. Hype able to dash out of the Scion ulti.
When you're really thinking about it, especially into a Trundle, and that's a bit of a window for DNF. If they find like a Varusol onto one of them, a pick like that can really make such a big difference.
Yep, sometimes you just want to hit something, and that's precisely what he's going to do. And now DNF 5 strong here in the mid lane as Polu looking for a bit of a hook angle, finds a minion. That's not exactly what he wants as the Nature's Grasp comes down. Bulldog just out of position as Morgan is chasing after him, doesn't find the dice as there is the hook combo out from Polu onto Pioshik as the exhaust does come through. Dudu the first one to fall, and the front line is now missing for DNF. The Bros, I think they got what they wanted as they now look to push out the mid lane.
So really nice flank from him there. Now, Bro have control over the area. DNF are TPing Dudu in to try and contest.
Yep, Quantum looking for a bit of an angle here. As you can see, it's slightly split for the Bros. Once again, a flank angle for Morgan, but it is going to get watched out for as there's the exhaust onto Closer. Not really a full commit here as Dudu just taking a lot of free damage for the moment. Another double knockup from the Q, and the instant ulti from Closer just says good night. The interrupt! This guy's Yone today is just something else as Hype is looking to keep them at bay. That is soul point for the Bros. I didn't even think he needed to do that. It was already good enough.
And yet he did, you know, just rubbing it in, establishing that he's on form right now today. They'll get the Dragon, they'll get the Baron, they'll get the Atakan. And it's looking like they're going to get the game one as well. Yeah, 7-0-2 right now on the Yone.
I said it wrong before because I was like, oh, it should be Atakan into Baron into game over. But no, it was Dragon into Baron into Atakan and then game over. As now it is a 7.5k gold lead. And let's have a look at it from Closer's perspective yet again. The double knockup, the ulti, instant just death of the front line. And then, like, this did not need to happen, but it was so beautifully done.
Closing the side lane. You can see DNF moving.
Yeah.
Hard to pin down a Yone, though.
We're going to try and catch him as the ulti gets Closer out of there. That has been deadly in these fights, though, so a big cooldown to now be used up. Still, the Bros get a lot out of it. They take down this mid outer turret finally, as the Blast Cone is going to evacuate Quantum and Pioshik. I think this was a poor financial decision.
But it did look cool.
It certainly did. As this inner turret will stay alive for the moment. Berserker and Bulldog going to be able to save that. But Morgan up there by himself, taking the inner turret in the top lane the whole time. Hype getting to work on this one. They've got so much damage when they do decide to go in here. They don't want Pioshik with any chance of making this happen, and he doesn't. They just burst it down. The ulti from Closer, but it's mitigated by that Zhonya's. But that arcane smash was so good. Arcaroon comes down as well. Now it's Hype's time to shine. Gets on top, but actually Berserker shuts down the Inara just for a couple of seconds before Closer says, no, this is the decade of Closer, and I am sorry, but you are not winning this team fight. Yeah, Pioshik not going to be getting out of this one either.
Keep running, bro.
Yeah,
don't stop. Don't stop.
It is some defecting time here for the Trundle, who decides to sit in
You're not going to be able to make it. No, just keep running.
Well, he might actually...
No.
He's not going to. But still, I mean, he hasn't been touched by the Maokai yet. So that is going to be an execute. And down goes Pioshik.
Strong.
He is quite a big boy. They also have Infernal Soul, as you mentioned before. That was going to be problematic, and that is going to continue to be so. As the Baron has spawned and now it's dead. 0-0-12 Maokai. As Closer not too worried about Sion and Pioshik.
The reason I don't think the saplings will matter much is because you have to leave your base to walk in brushes. And I don't think that's happening.
Dudu, I don't think he's getting out of this one either. The Unstoppable Onslaught is feeling a bit stoppable here. Is the ulti going to collect two of them? Immediate snapback there from Closer, though, who did not want to use up that GA just yet. And the Sion does go down. Nothing Dudu can really do here, unfortunately, even though he is Dudu. My goodness, Hype doing so much work, but Berserker's actually, really starting to hurt.
Hey,
now's the time, DNF. Make it happen, as the nature is grasping, and I'm grasping at straws as far as trying to explain that there is a way out here for DNF. It's looking real rough as down this one goes. There's the flash hook out Apollo as well, as Pioshik nowhere to go, and he will just be wiped out. Hype doing so much damage in this fight. This Lurk connects, and the answer is immediate there from Closer. And look at these autos from Hype. He is untouched. Empress Divide, though, will be able to find him down to the GA. Is this Yunara? But that is a zombie Scion that's just going to get wiped out. The knock-up onto Berserker as well, as he is relegated to the fountain. No comeback this time, as the Bros put DNF down here in game one.
I think you're fine with having the Wukong Annie. Honestly, I think Wukong Annie higher prior right now in the LCK. The bot lane matchup, Lucian Braum into Corki, Alistair's good early matchup, so...
And I think this mid lane is going to be a pretty important place as Pioshik making his way in already at level 3. The flash out from closer, but the follow is going to be there. The flash forward, and there is the first blood going over to Bulldog. Right as I was saying that this was going to be a point of power for the bros, Pioshik comes in and says, no, it's not.
And Annie is moving down, so Morgan's not getting the protection. He's on his own.
Yep, he's going to have to try and be a Gwen is immune type situation here, but it is getting real rough. There is the concussive blows, and Life comfortably tanks up that turret. A beautiful dive, and they'll be rewarded with plates as well. Wise be absolutely fine, and the answers here for the bros just aren't...
Oh no.
Why Morgan, why are we doing this? The exhaust does come on through, but he's just dead again. Yeah, I don't know. There's a nice little headbutt, and they will be able to answer. No, never mind. Dudu is just going to keep himself alive, and he holds the wave away from the turret at the same time. Oh, dear. This has not gone very well for the bros.
Oh, the slow!
Hype is just going to pick it up with a fast bomb. I actually thought that maybe it was just going to be all over, but that is going to be a plate going over to at least closer in that mid lane. But Pioshik will be taking down this dragon, rotating over.
I don't think he can contest this, you know. Dudu still has TP.
Yep.
Morgan doesn't. Morgan has no way to stop Dudu's TP as well.
Hype and Polo are holding the wave as well, so there is no way.
And there's just no way to contest this. So, I mean, it's a right call from Bro, but it kind of shows how this game has quickly gone in a pretty uncomfortable position. Dudu, even the calls made, it's like, guys, they're not contesting us on the top side. Oh,
yeah, ulti going to connect there onto Hype as Polo just going to play defense. Wave. Pretty cute. Let's see whether they can actually make this dive work. Of course, there is no ulti for Dudu. Double teleports coming in as Closer is down here as well. They're going to see whether they can take out Dudu before that teleport completes, and they will be able to do so as Closer goes between the worlds, but it's a double teleport. The double pole is also fantastic, but under the turret they go as there's the snip from Morgan to lock down another kill. The Aurora will be going down, but it's a trade up for the bros. At least they can hold on to that, as the bros are going to be starting off this second dragon of the game. Feats of Warfare were completed very early here for DNF, but Feats of Strength haven't quite been confirmed just yet. Just one objective or turret, and they will be able to lock that one down. As Pioshik is in position, there is Earth, Wind, and Fire confirmed. That's fantastic. Polo going to be moving over as Morgan with the needlework looking to try and take down some Tibbers. As Polu is in a bit of trouble. He does have the Unbreakable Will, but it's not going to last forever, and it's only level 1. There's the Cyclone, and the immediate double kill does come in. Closer, can he make it happen? The answer is no, because he's exhausted, and that's just 3 on the floor for the bros. DNF pull it right back. Around certainly a few more stakes in it, as DNF weren't actually defeated as okay. There's the Vault Breaker flash. Is Bulldog just going to be executed? They'll take Tithers as well.
You know, Pioshik and Life were in the vicinity, but when it's that quick, there's just not a ton you can do.
Yep. As Croco now looking to do it again. Doesn't have Cease and Desist available, as there is a control ward here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Bro just going to set up the teleport and Equalizer just to deal with the wave. Dudu knows that he's dead. Not even going to use the flash or anything like that. Morgan comes down. Pioshik going to be answering this with Feats of Strength. Actually going to be completed earlier with that turret falling down in the mid lane. It's a big investment from the bros.
This is not a good trade for the bros right now. You're losing 2 towers. You're losing the Herald. This is not working out too favorably. And the fact that Dudu gets the ult the wave as well. I mean, look how healthy that tower is. You know, Morgan's not getting
they didn't do damage
value.
Well, Morgan is now going to be able to take the turret.
Yeah,
so there's at least that.
I guess holding the TP as well is the main, because Dudu could have TP'd there to defend the tower, but they opt not to use it. Even though it wasn't a lane matchup, Closer's now laning into Dudu, and Dudu is not having a fun time.
Oh, Rift Herald. They're going to get the entire outer ring of turrets very comfortably here. DNF keeping up the tempo nicely.
Yeah, definitely feels like this is the point where they've had leads, and this is more what we expected. Game 1 felt like a bit of an outlier because...
All right, Closer looking for Dudu here. As all right, there's a vibe. Cease and Desist comes on through, and Croco tanks up the turret for about a year, and is very happy to do so.
People on the side is working out pretty favorably overall. Dudu didn't even get a chance to ultimate there to clear out the wave. And sure, it gives over the dragon, but it's a long way away from Soul right now for DNF. So I think Bro making some good moves there. Again, keeping the gold lead close. I mean, compared to game 1, where it's that constant flow upwards, This is going to be a very jerky gold grab.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like, as far as triaging the disadvantage that they did have in this game.
Really starved, so like, if we compare...
Yeah, it doesn't have a massive amount of money, but has way more than Dudu, as he's dead again. The exhaust goes down. Morgan able to dash away from that last turret. Oh, Bulldog comes in and just says goodbye. And down goes the Gwen. Another stun is going to connect here onto Croco as well, as the Bolt Breaker is blocked gorgeously here by Bulldog. As Croco not even going to be allowed to flash away. Pioshik says goodnight, and that's a 1 for 2. Dudu pretty happy. As Polo not too worried about getting stunned up by an Annie or anything like that. Pioshik looking for an angle towards Croco here, as Closer could also be in trouble. Tries to go between the worlds, but he's just stunned up. And that is a dead Aurora before she can do anything at all. Does do a bit of AoE damage, I guess, but here it's Otacon time for DNF. And the Bros, do they have an answer? That's the question. Hype off to the side, kind of awkward position here for this Corki as he's looking to chase down Bulldog. Does do a lot of damage, but there is the response. And he was just alone. The rest of the team had already backed away.
Yeah, that felt very desperate. And Berserker, so strong, so quick, just to dash over and basically two-tap him.
Yeah.
It's like, what is he doing? Let's just kill him. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Let's just kill the Otacon now. And then it was just such a weird situation. The thing is as well, he could have just backed away.
It is now just in DNF's favor as Closer to go between the worlds here. And does just put himself in a very uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say unforced error on that one, as Dudu wants to get the kill. Pioshik is going to deny it.
There was definitely a way in which he could completely escape that situation.
Would be an opportunity, as Tibbs is going to give away the position. It's a pretty optimistic Baron start as the culling comes through. That's a massive pulverize as Hype trying to keep himself alive. He's not going to be successful, but it is Berserker going down as well. And unfortunately, these wallets be heavy. And DNF, they just lose Berserker. Croco wasn't even interested.
Yeah, I mean, you see so much effort is put into taking down the Lucian. They finally get him. That Corki's already dead. The rest of the team just getting demolished. So many people left alive on DNF. Croco's looking, but against an Annie, I'm not sure you're going to be able to find an angle to get close to that Baron. DNF healthy enough to slowly take this one, and yeah, Bulldog is playing bouncer, so it's going to be Baron secured here.
Yep, very nicely done. Locked up here by DNF.
Hold ahead with Baron in pocket. Oh, and a pretty... Oh, no, Croco.
Yeah, there's a bear, and he's dead. Bulldog going to be able to lock that one down.
That was pretty quick. A lot of...
Yeah, you mentioned the 2-item spike. How about the 3-item spike?
Yeah, a lot of problems, not many solutions. Even the Rumble feels a little intimidating. This support Rumble's coming online.
He certainly is. He's only 720 gold behind. The inhibitor turret not going to be answered.
The Braum with Lock of Redemption, you know, he's putting up some numbers.
Yeah, Life actually doing it once again. Gets subbed in, looks real good. I mean, the bottom lane, honestly, went a whole lot better. You can imagine the matchup feels a whole lot better just in general, but I think the way they played it, also an improvement here as Closer ults behind him. This Aurora has not been the thing. DNF just going to be clearing out the last remaining inner turret here. As the Bros, I don't know how you really even throw the Hail Mary. That's the roughest part of this.
I think you just send this, start a fight.
They're going to look for it. Between Worlds available again here for Closer, but the inhibitor is just going to be dead, and Berserker just culls Closer. And he is out of here.
Yeah, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we're going to have to go for some sort of something, but Polu's just dead. And the Bros, they're like, no, this is not the time.
Probably at some point before your Nexus dies. Generally is a good time to fight. Any time before your Nexus dies.
That would be a good option. Let's see whether they can make that one happen as Morgan goes golden. First Nexus turret is looking to go down though, as Between Worlds is actually employed. Bulldog down pretty low, but unfortunately it's not low enough as the Bros just gonna get incinerated by this support Rumble. He picks up a double kill. Redemption for Dudu as the Nexus goes down, and DNF will bring us to a game 3 this time. No, I don't think so. Having a look over it right now just briefly. I mean, no, his E cooldown was actually lowered by a decent margin.
Wait, on this
4
patch?
seconds. Yeah.
Oh.
As it turns out, we don't bring up the graphic.
He was hitting
Closer,
those.
get the cannon. You're making me anxious. Oh, he did.
He was hitting those cues before the graphic came up, is all I'm going to say.
Exactly.
you know, self-fulfilling prophecy and all that.
Yeah. It's one of those things. At least it's another one in the Curses of Real column, which is what we are always really banking on. As Hype, Void Seeker is going to come on through there. Nice snare going to connect at the same time, but the answering Q Deadly Flourish is good. All right, bros. We're in a little bit of trouble as Pyosik already cantering in there, does get the pushback onto Hype, who goes down exceedingly low as Polo trying to keep Bulldog in position, but the turtle port from Closer just takes a billion years. And as it was, yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
So we put it first this time. As Croco going to be able to take one of these grubs. There is Pyosik going in, but the gravity field was pretty good. Immediate use of the Impale onto Pyosik, but the answering damage is going to be there from DNF as Hype not really doing too much. Does have a fourth bullet, doesn't really do much with it. And then crash into the wall there, but unfortunately is going to die midair as the disengage cone tries to come in. And DNF off to a great start. Feats of Warfare coming on through.
And you know what, Pyosik? He's just kind of vibing. He just rides in, tanks everything with his W, soaks up a load of damage.
With a victory over the DN Freaks in this series right here.
Oh, then no, there'd still be a series down.
Still a series down? Okay. But so they're really far away if they lose this series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like, but if they win it, you know, they would be 3 series ahead of DRX when there's really just not that many series left. So, but a win for DNF here, DRX fans would very much appreciate.
Yep, and it's once again Berserker with the big lead.
Yeah.
So comes on over to help out, taking this first Hextech Dragon. Chemtech going to be the next one. Execution up and available for Morgan if he'd like to press that button. Let's see whether he does go for it here. Looks like it's not going to be the thing. As dash around for Dudu once again, able to get a fair bit of damage with the last few moments of the all-out.
Yeah, you can see Judy stepped up to get the plate, and then Morgan was trying to find an angle.
Oh dear, the Rune Prison does come on through, and actually Pyosik able to avoid Croco Pop Blossom, and down goes the victor. Life is actually just the savior of DNF today. They need their lord to save them. Right now, he does have level 11, so has an extra point in that ulti, as he is putting that Essence Reaver to work.
It does help a lot because you get the armor pen from the points in your ultimate, so especially into a tank matchup, it does make a big difference, even if you're not necessarily using the ult in the 1v1.
All right, now you've got Feats of Strength on the line here for DNF if they do manage to take this Rift Herald. Now it looks like it's not going to be contested as Polo is moving in. Hype finds Berserker, or does Berserker find Hype? As that is so much damage. Croco just moving in. It is going to be a smite fight, and it's won here by the Scorpion, who just walks over, picks up the eye. I don't think he's making it out, but at least manages to steal away the objectives. There's at least that. As Deadly Flourish here from Hype is going to be able to continue clearing out the wave. Highway robbery.
I think all things considered, Bro will take that. You know, they get the objective, they secure it. Yes, Croco goes down, but bit of a crazy one that he's able to slide in and steal that away.
Also got, like, he's got 36 Heartsteel stacks as well, so there you go. Hype, I mean, he is dead if Polo isn't there, so thankfully Polo is there.
Yeah. This Jhin is not feeling too intimidating right now.
No, it's not quite the Jhin we saw yesterday, which was doing a lot of damage. This one, not so much. DNF just looking to grab the Feats of Strength. There it is. Dragon does go down. They'll also look for the first turret, as the Bros are at least able to move on in here. Another Cloud Soul, 2 in a row. You'd love to see it. And that is going to be the wave cleared out here by Closer.
Oh, Cloud Soul with Hecarim?
Oh dear, Bulldog could be in a little bit of trouble as Croco pushes him over. Life is in trouble, but he finds the Pop Blossom angle only onto one, but it's the most important one. The flashback does come on through, and Berserker turns up in the nick of time. Croco looks for the angle there as Pyosik kills the turret before it gets to take him down, and DNF, they can do no wrong in this game.
Beautiful answer back there, and that play, that's a difference between having the rocket belt and not. Life able to catch Closer, and the follow-up, the cleanup is there.
However, this is looking similar to their last series.
All I'm going to say is maybe some of the teams are pretty lucky that DNF can't qualify for Worlds anymore.
Exactly. All of the other regions are like, oh, thank goodness. We don't have to deal with this.
Maybe our region too, you know.
Well, I mean, that's true, but everyone looking on is like, wow, we dodged this bullet.
Yeah.
Could have been coming our way. Well, Realm Warp going to come on through there as the Void Seeker is going to connect. Bulldog just going to be turning up by himself, but that will guarantee this outer turret. That's what DNF needs to do. Take incremental advantages, use the power that they have. Aggression, though. And with a clean closeout of this game, as well as the second one, could really show some growth as Pyosik just dives onto Arakan.
Okay, a little bit concerning, because if they get the Arakan here, they have a huge gold lead.
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot of anyone being able to see anything at all.
There's a good chance we don't get... The game might end before the Cloud Soul. And I personally, I don't know about you. It was a zoning repelled.
Ah, I like it.
Yeah.
Because it let Bro get in position for this Drake.
No.
Ah.
If you look, Crocco's actually clearing his camp, so it zoned DNF away.
Look at this.
Oh, the Realm Warp.
Huge tempo play.
Oh.
And there are no Bros to speak of. There is 2 teleports available, but they are just going to lose this inner turret.
They didn't want that tier 2 tower anyway.
No, tier 2 turrets aren't necessary. As Close is like, well, thanks for the huge stacked wave, guys.
So scary. It's very spooky.
I want to see Morgan involved. That's what I want to see. He's even, kinda. Still ahead a bit. All right. This is going to get spotted immediately. And they have this cheeky little ward that Bulldog is standing on, but this Baron is still going down. There's the flash forward, the Impale, just to try and pick up Bulldog, but he flashes away. The Pop Blossom picks up 2, but they've taken down the Rise already. Morgan still looking for a bit of an angle here as Pyosik looking to run his way out. Dudu going to get taken for a walk here as he is snared up. There's a nice double knockback, and the Dusante is popping off. He takes down the Victor, and now he's looking for more. Morgan's ult just goes nowhere, but he's still able to do the damage. Never mind. It's Berserker that locks him down in the end, and Polu is the product of a potential quadra kill, but it doesn't actually come through as Pyosik locks that one up for the ace, and DN Freaks not going to be routed this time.
The cleanup comes through. The Baron bait successful. We denied the Cloud Soul Hecarim, but I don't think DNF care. The 3rd series win gonna come through. I think
this, yeah? Go back. The Drake's up. The Drake's up, guys. It's time for super fast Hecarim. We need it. Never mind. We're not going to get it. The Nexus turrets are going to go down. There are 6 seconds on Crocco and Closer, but they are just going to be spectators as this Nexus goes down, and the DN Freaks pick up another one.
So there's that option, but I think T1, they have, the ball delivery, they have this engage, they have the movement speed of the Sivir to follow up on that, and they have the bar.
Too close to the turret. Zeus not wanting to go for anything. Phase Rush getting the Galio out. Flash has to be invested here by Carrier as he gets the 2-man ult. There's the magical journey as well. Immediate flash from Viper gets him out of there, and now Peanut looking for an angle. It could be Carrier that they can jump towards because he doesn't have his flash. The heroic entrance to deliver the Galio, and there's first blood over to Viper. The angry orange coming out there as well as it does come in. Justice Punch going to connect as well as the Cyclone has to be invested here by the Wukong. And the Orianna is just taking crockery in the mid lane. We'll be able to take that first plate as we can see there.
Had ult. I think maybe. I mean, he'd been his ability, so probably not the best time to look for it. But now looking for these grubs.
All right, let's see whether they can actually fight for this one.
Zek is resetting. He's going to TP back in.
Yep, kind of an awkward position, but there's a very aggressive teleport. Still, the flash in from Delight to try and lock down Carrier. Doesn't quite have anywhere to go, so he is going to be the sacrificial lamb. T1 did manage to take 2 of the grubs, though, so already they do secure the objective, but they do sacrifice Carrier for it. And Doran, he's the one taking plates on this side.
They have to sacrifice their support in order to get an advantage for Doran. Now, though, looking for a play here. This is Faker coming in alone.
Yeah, we've seen teleports like this not go so well today, as there's the Magnustorm. Faker looking for the angle, but everyone shows up, and Delight's able to tank the turret. So that was not the teleport that he wanted. Maybe don't listen to Morgan next time when you get TP advice.
See if they can get in position. I don't think it'll be in time to answer this dragon.
Delight is going to move over. Peanut was thinking about stopping the Raptors, but I think that he is still just going to let this one go. Down to 7. No vision, so wasn't ever an issue here for T1. No. They will be able to come over and answer this. Delight will be able to clear out the vision. Let's see whether T1 can actually make a play for this one. Tempered Fate is available. Carrier can be pretty annoying as the teleport is going to be invested. Carrier's taking a lot of damage. but he can do a lot of disruption from a long way away as all T1 are grouped up. On the hunt has been popped. Zona walks in, just steals their lunch money. That's a way to do it as the Winds of War come out, but a little bit late there is Zeka, unfortunately. And now T1 fancy a fight. They want to be able to pick up this eye. There's the Magnet Storm to try and pick up this Ambassador. She goes golden though. The heroic entrance is mistimed, and Doran not even able to pick up the eye. It's Ona that's able to collect it there, but the Ambassador is going to go down. And now right into the Rift Herald immediately goes T1's jungler Zeus, keeping himself alive for such a long time as Carrier down to 200 health, but there is the first turret going over to T1 as well.
Yeah, fight. And even though they did get Doran in the end, I just don't think it really means anything.
Yeah, turret is going to be answered here by HLE, but first turret was already gone.
So once that momentum's gone, it's very hard to get back.
Let's check this one out from Owner again. He picks up the eye, immediately puts it down and gets in. And he was the one that was low, right? And so takes it for a drive. This drift was kind of sick as well, as you can see. Able to get on over, takes first turret.
I think it might have been Doran who put the eye down and he picked up afterwards, no?
But I think Zeus has a lot of longevity in this game. I think depending on what Zeka is going to build, he will also become more and more dangerous. As Chains of Corruption going to connect here on to Gumayusi. Tempered Fate is there to try and keep him alive, but now he's in a sticky situation. Redemption comes down though, and Peanut goes in. And I think he may have gone in a bit too far. Gumayusi just baiting them for T1 at this stage, as we're going to check this one out from Carrier's perspective. And the flash over as well.
Yeah, I mean the timing's so good, it denies the burst. Again, bursty comp, you're playing a poke virus. It is that you have the auto reset in the W, so if you auto W a target with those items and you crit, so much damage.
Shockwave going to get eaten by the Justice Punch, but still needs to flash to get himself out of there. We'll see whether he's actually going to be okay, as Ona not quite able to get the knock up. The flash in, the full commit here from Peanut as he gets the knock up. Justice Punch lands, and the taunt comes down. Down goes the monkey. And Zeka will be on the board now. 2-0-2 on the Galio. 2 items just complete. Of ultimates. One of them is on the monkey that is definitely not going to be showing up to this one. But yeah, they may not have Smite, but they've still got Gumayusi, so be careful, HLE. Redemption going to be keeping them healthy. Happens once again as there's a public execution connecting onto Viper, but he does get himself out of the way. Chains of Corruption are good. And into the backline goes Zeka. He finds the angle of Magnet Storm. Also fantastic. No one's dead just yet. Gumayusi takes the magical journey to get out, and the Shockwave denies Zeka. The Winds of War will come in, and finally the Orianna goes down, but Zeka may be in trade going down as well, and he does, and Ona turns up with a full health bar to tell HLE to get out of here. I don't know whether they're going to listen to him though, as in they go, down goes the monkey. Gumayusi now in trouble as Zeus takes matters into his own hands, and it's his magical journey he's going to be taking as Carrier gets the heck out of there, and HLE will take their prize.
Just when you think T1 are getting away with murder, escaping with such low HP, HLE managed to clean them up, win a decisive victory, and get the Arakan.
Oh my goodness, okay. A little bit of trouble here as he's trying to get back towards this relatively low health turret. Does have that Justice Punch as the Cyclone does come in. Taunt not really helping out, and down he goes. Nothing they could do about it, but turret is going to still be secured on that bottom side, and Viper trying to get some work done here against Doran as well. Public Execution is going to connect onto this Varus, but he's just trying to kite it out. Double Redemption's coming in there as the Hail of Arrows is going to come on through as Faker finds the angle. Doran's so incredibly low. There is going to be the Shockwave connecting, and that's going to disintegrate the bottom lane. Zeus breaks the arm guard immediately. He's pretty healthy, and he gets on top of Guma. Takes him down before he goes out, but it's a double kill for the Sivir as well, and Peanut, he's not going to be winning this fight. T1 reigns supreme. I think that HLE are not going to be too surprised about this one, as the vision does come on through. Peanut is in the area as Chains of Corruption gets the flash out from Carrier. Now Faker could be in a little bit of trouble. The ulti goes wide there from Doran as Zeka gets all in amongst it. Goes golden there as well as he pops the arm guard, but the Shockwave is going to connect, takes down the Galio, but the 3-man stun from Zeus is huge. He does have his Zhonya's. The Tempered Fate is actually going to keep him in stasis for even longer, and Viper just can't finish off these targets. He does manage to land one of them as a pause. And Viper is the only... How do we unpause this ever?
And I think T1's composition is definitely leaning towards the point where it's stronger.
Okay, here we are. We are back into it one more time. Viper is trying to get away, and I don't think he will actually escape, and he doesn't.
Hey, I said this would happen.
Yeah, that's I agreed with you. I thought that you were kind of onto something there. As T1 with some lower health bars, are just going to be heading over towards the Baron.
Just Ona and Doran are just a bit too hard to cut through right now.
And remember when this game was even? It's now 5,000 gold in the lead for T1, and Peanut is in all the trouble in the world. He doesn't have... Oh, he's able to audaciously charge towards the Gromp.
That was pretty audacious.
It was. Flawless magical journey. It's not very magical, is it? It's just kind of an archway. But it looks very pretty because it's Carrier's skin, so that's pretty cool. 2 turrets are going to go down, but this is going to be 3 for T1.
You can tell there's a gold bard main out there somewhere who's saying, look, Carrier does it too.
I mean, some of the walls just aren't the same as the others, you know? Yeah. As this inhibitor is going to be taken.
I like to believe that he did it to prank Doran, because that is huge loss. Ends up really pushing it in favor. And now T1 just really looking to close things out. I think someone needs to massively overstep if HD want to...
Well, Peanut, he might be the one doing that. Does have ult, so that is going to divide T1. Chains of Corruption is going to connect. That is a single-man shockwave here, and Peanut is pretty durable, but Zeka, not so much. And they just melt to the ricochet damage out of this 4.5k in the lead Sivir. And Viper having to deal with this monkey. It's a triple kill for Guma, who's going to make it a quadra. Carrier steals it away. Adorable. We get the zoom in from Jonas Strong as well. And this was close until it absolutely wasn't, ladies and gentlemen. HLE gonna have to try better in game number 2. As just a little leap strike there from Zeus, as Guma is going to convince him to stay in his fountain. And I think he will do exactly that. The only gold lead here for HLE, but the gold advantages are just looking ridiculous. Zeus takes the magical journey. That was so cool. That was the highlight moment of this entire game for me. That was very, very cute. Zeus does go golden. The Nexus will go boom. And HLE are just going to have to try again in game number 2. Peanut, not going to do anything. There it goes, T1.
It feels really bad because no matter who ends up soaking it, they can kind of just be a target. Unless HLE fall really far behind and then you just kind of run them over when they grab you. The Maiden in a 2v1, although right now it is just Viper going up against Doran. So,
yeah.
A funnest position to be in.
We'll see whether they are going to leave it at that. I do believe they will not. Zeus trying to get that heat to a good spot. See whether Gumushi is going to be all right. There's the equalizer that you were talking about. The flash knock-up, and Delight has guaranteed the kill. That is first blood over to Zeus. And he was the guy getting the most done in the last game, and they've set him up for success again.
Play, and Delight doesn't even leave it in doubt. Goes for the flash knock-up, and with Spellbook
into the area to see what's going on. Zeus burning Doran. Oh god, one more auto would have done it. But he does respect and gets himself out of the way.
Yeah, the overheat kind of timed out. Didn't really think he had the damage, especially with the Maiden hitting him, so backed away, but
and Flashes was still up, I guess, so...
wow.
Yeah. Now he's in the ghoulie wall with a kennel, and he's got cats, not dogs.
That is not a fun place to be. Caged up completely.
Certainly not.
He wants to try and steal this.
Well, let's see whether he can. Rock Grab, not exactly the highest amount of damage in comparison to a Smite, so probably wasn't really going to work out. There is Mountain Soul again.
The classic.
Oh, you know? So good.
No, guys, I'm not trolling. This is legitimate.
Yep. Spectacular.
It's just great form.
Well, Rift Herald going to be taken once again. This was a dangerous time for HLE last time around. This time, Gumushi making his way in. Ona over here as well, as Faker is now going to be moving down. Nature's Grasp.
Away!
Of course Gumushi steals it. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. The ulti's going to pick up Tib as Faker is now isolated as Peanut and Delight are set to take him down. But Zeka is also dead, so mid laners are going to get traded. And now the teleport from Doran comes forward. Tibbers goes down, but I think Peanut is also going to be dead, and there he goes. Viper wiped off the Rift, and it's all of a sudden just a disaster for HLE because Zeus didn't have TP.
No, he did. I think Doran stopped his TP.
Oh, no.
And then TP'd himself. True. How does it just keep happening?
Yeah, why does Gumushi keep taking these?
Also,
there it is. It was on the 118 health.
I mean,
That was gorgeously played.
I think the fight was already going pretty well for T1, but Doran just secured. They made sure they won that massively and had a huge advantage there. And now 3 dragons.
Exactly, and it's also like they managed to get feats of strength as Gumayusi. Peanut is going to find him, denies the grab, but in comes Owner. He's going so fast, still Viper doing enough damage. Subjugate going to be used onto Peanut here as Carrier turns up, but a little too late to save his 80 carry. So Guma oversteps just a little, and HLE might be able to find a way back here. But man, it is such an uphill battle because it's so point. They've had the first 3 dragons so quickly taken away. The pressure is there permanently on HLE. Taking this outer turret going to be a big deal here for Hanwha Life Esports, but still, like I said, uphill battle.
That was a kill.
Wait, did he get the cannon though?
I believe someone got the cannon.
There we go. I mean, I think that means it's fine.
Gone to the aiming school.
Silver lining. Silver lining.
Yeah.
They will need to invest them. As are they even going to do anything about it? Well, teleport is going to come on through. There's the TP from Doran just to make sure that he's here for this fight. Shield bow picked up for Zeka as he shows up. The Otacon still up and alive. Doran going to be the first one to go down. It is going to be the Otacon secured by T1. Massive ulti comes through, but T1 are still standing. The equalizer enough to finish them off, and Faker not able to make it out as HLE turning this into a bloodbath. Down they all go. And Otacon for ace is the trade HLE get.
And I think too many ults down.
You don't need to fight for it either. It's a lone Drake. Doesn't actually matter. Oh, if you want the direct quote, by the way, that we've got the actual chat. LOL in all caps, no ... human never change. As the Drake does go down. A1 successful disengage. I miss him so much. Hopefully he comes back after he's finished with all of his extracurricular activities. Waiting in that brush as this turret is just on its last leg.
Oh, the light?
The light is just going to walk too far forward. Not able to get any buttons off at all. As Ona able to run his way out of there as well. Zeka unbinds the soul, but now they're without their Blitzcrank for 30 seconds time. He has TP to make his way back. Equalizer to try and thin out the wave. But I think they will still have enough to take down this turret because they didn't really need minions, let's be honest.
Yeah, good pickup there from T1. You know,
just doesn't feel very good at all.
Yeah. No, not again.
Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Do it again. Oh, God, he actually just did it again.
Literally.
Not a replay.
Just died to this.
It just doesn't feel like the tempo vibes are with them right now.
It really does not. It feels like control definitely in favor of T1. Now they are looking for Doran. Oh, I think he's just dead.
Yep, this is a tough one. Zeus trying to follow him up, but Zeka able to stack up that Q, gets over the goalie wall as well, and the Unbound Soul would have guaranteed that one anyway. So down goes the Yorick in the side lane. He's got TP, 45 seconds though.
They are doing a lot of damage at this point.
Yep. Gumayusi almost face-checking Peanut there. As we know, he is in this brush. The hook is going to connect! And unfortunately, Carrier is going to be the one getting jump-scared this time around. The support's really having a hard time keeping vision on this map, and immediately HLE walk over to the Baron and look to take it down.
It's a bad time to be a support main in this game.
Oh, it really is.
Coming through, and that's enough to translate it. Ends up being...
And all of a sudden, now it's HLE with the 5,000 gold lead.
In mid bot, maybe to look.
All right. Well, Delight is going aggressive, as we can see.
It looks like they might have to give this tower up, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to defend. Carrier is there with the door, as Owner is going to get engaged on here momentarily by Peanut. Kennel not really going to work out, as we can see. As Faker off to the side, just barely out of vision.
But again,
Peanut not going to take the bait this time. Oh man.
The Maokai ult is so big for securing this. They can just use it as a diagonal.
Exactly, it's like Talia wall, right? Works exactly the same way, and they're just going to break open the base. They didn't need the mid wave because they just forced all the way through bot.
Yeah, this does mean, though, they're not able to translate this into more. It's still a huge pickup, don't get me wrong. Although I say that, they're looking.
All right, they're looking for Gumayusi, the ulti, and the flash has to come out. That's a lot invested there as the hook is going to come through. Carrier has the door, still takes so much damage, and the culling, still high value. I'm not sure about this one here, HLE, as the flash comes out. In goes Zeus, trying to go aggressive on the back of that one. Great knock-up there from Zeka, but out goes Ona. Gumayusi coming on through there, but Doran is right in the mix. They take down Ona. That's 1,000 gold, though. Massive, massive money over to T1. Zeka and Viper.
They don't have a Baron, but the threat of the Maokai Blitzcrank is so hard to deal with, and there's no good wave clear. You know, and everyone who wants to wave clear, like Annie or Lucian, has to walk up so far. So despite the fact that HLE don't have the Baron anymore, they're still getting this pressure down.
The start of the Baron, nothing's really changed. We'll see whether it does here as the Nature's Grasp is going to come on through. They look to take down the Braum first, and he will get taken out, but the trade might be that Gumayusi just barely survives, and he even gets the redemption. Zeus not going to be as lucky as he is going to be flattened by Doran once again, but Zeka looking for that angle one more time. Faker goes golden. The Soul is still unbound. He finds so many knockups, but can we finish some kills? Here HLE is Viper, so incredibly close to goals, and Doran secures it. And you need to finish your kills, HLE, as T1. These health bars are just being restored.
The fact this was 5,000 gold lead going into this, and again, T1 are managing to pull out these victories, surviving with slithers of HP in these situations. Zeka trying to get away. He's still a dangerous threat, though. Doran, I'm not sure you're going to be happy with what you find.
Yeah, exactly right. Unbinds the Soul here. There's the flash from Doran.
Oh, nicely played.
That was pretty cute, but Zeka is still dangerous. The teleport comes in. Can he actually take down Doran? No! Finds the Q, takes down this terrifying Yone, and now Gumayusi, he's going to cull him, because why not? Are both still dead.
I don't know if they can. Look at the base, by the way. I know they have Baron recalls.
Oh, right, yeah. That's it's going to be problematic.
This is a lot of things to juggle right now.
Yep, so Baron is going to immediately come on through.
Guys,
could it be both? It's both Nexus turrets.
They do
respawn now.
But that's, you don't feel too good.
Oh no, the Maiden! Doran almost blocked his own Maiden.
Okay,
Maiden can walk through, but it's fine.
They can deny this. Okay, Peanut's on his way, he's a while away. This is just so hectic.
Yeah, so they can deny the Soul, but T1 now still have Baron for another 2.5 minutes.
Okay, gold is now basically even.
Down. As T1 now with this Baron, the gold 100% even. It is now going to tick towards T1 as Gumayusi gets that last hit on the inner turret. But by no means has anything been decided off either of these Barons. I think it's going to be a soul fight that might decide it here. But I tell you what, if you're an HLE fan, I would be nervous. Because, I mean...
He's going to get to the last item because Dragon is up in 35. We're on the map for this.
Yep. This could be the last opportunity. There's the knock-up onto Doran. Can they actually secure this, though? That's the question. Zeka snaps back, but a lot of damage has been done. The ultimate's going to tag him as the Nature's Grasp will come through. Zeus groups back up with his team as Gumayusi's doing so much work. Finds the culling and takes matters into his own hands. Gumayusi just says, not today, HLE. Down to his GA, but he has that item, so he can go this crazy in the fight, and T1 just roll over the top.
Absolute decimation. 5v5 team fighting composition be damned. T1 run them over. The final fight doesn't even look close.
That was just blink and it's over. And T1, they do it again. Game number 2 ends in about the same abrupt fashion as game number 1. And I guess the best thing you can think about for HLE is at least they were winning for a portion of these games. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill a Nexus against T1. Not this year.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.